In this lesson, we're going to be covering some different types of E major voicings. The one that we know that is most common is a open E major voicing. And this one is just using the second, third, and first fingers on the fifth, fourth, and third string. We strum all 6 strings to get this open voicing, as there's open strings as well as fretted notes. So now the next voicing that's all fretted is the first finger on the 4th string 2nd fret, the second finger on the 3rd string 4th fret, the 3rd finger on the 1st string 4th fret, and the pinky on the 2nd string 5th fret. And we're going to strum from the 4th string down. Okay. So this is the same notes as the open voicing: E, B, E, and G sharp. These 3 notes, E, G sharp, and B, make up the E major chord. So anywhere we find those notes on the neck, we can play an E major voicing. So here we have E major. Again, you could also play it as a bar with the ring. That first string is a little tricky to get with the bar. So just do your best. And then if we go to the 12th fret, okay, we have the 4th finger E on the 6th string, the 3rd finger G sharp on the 5th string, and then here you could just play the 1st finger on the 4th string 9th fret, or you can get down to the 9th fret on the 3rd string too, with a partial bar with the 1st finger. So again, that's 4 on 12, 3 on 11, and partial bar on the 4th and 3rd strings, 9. So now another one is E major on the top 3 strings. So E major on the top 3 strings is the 3rd finger on the 9th fret, the 4th finger on the 9th fret 2nd string, and the 1st finger on the 7th fret 1st string. So now we're going to pluck those top 3 strings. Okay, and then if you wanted, you could also add this 2nd finger here that's hanging out onto the 4th string 9th fret. And that's an E major chord, but what's called an inverted E major chord. And that's because this note here is B, and B is the 5th of the chord. So instead of having the lowest note as E, like in this voicing we saw earlier, we're actually just going to take off the E and start from the 4th string down on B. So the notes are still E, G sharp, and B from the chord. However, now the lowest note is B. Okay, so anytime we have the lowest note other than E, then it's going to be an inverted chord. Okay, so again, the voicings are E major open, E major 2nd position, E major in 7th, partial bar, or you can use 2, 3, and 4 with a bar chord, full bar chord on the 7th fret. And then we have 4, 3, and 1 as 9th position E major voicing. And we could also do the top 3 strings as well. 3, 4, and 1, and then the inverted if we like. In this lesson, we're going to be covering the G major triads throughout the fretboard. So we're going to start with G in 1st position. We have our 3rd finger on the 6th string 3rd fret, and our 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. If we play this together, we have our first G triad, when the notes are G, B, and D. So now we're going to move to the 7th position and use our 4th finger on G, our 3rd finger on B, and our 1st finger on D. That will be the 4th finger on the 10th fret 5th string, 3rd finger on the 9th fret 4th string, the 1st finger on the 7th fret 3rd string. So all together that's G, B, D. Okay, so let's now move to the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. We're going to use our 3rd finger on the 4th string, 5th fret, our 2nd finger on the 4th fret, 3rd string, and our 1st finger on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. Again, that's G, B, D. And so our last root position triad that we can play for G is going to be on the 10th position with our 3rd finger on the 12th fret, 3rd string, and our 4th finger on the 12th fret, 2nd string, and our 1st finger on the 10th fret, 1st string. An alternative finger you can use too for this is the 2nd and 3rd fingers. It's a bit of a stretch, but it frees up the pinky for any notes after these fingers. So you can use the 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 12th fret, and the 3rd finger on the 2nd string, 12th fret. Okay, so now if we want more of these triads, we can just move up past the 12th fret, so we can have our 4th finger on the 15th fret of the 6th string, and our ring finger on the 14th fret of the 5th string, and our 1st finger on the 12th fret of the 4th string, which again is the same as our 1st position, just an octave higher. Now in 12th position. Okay, and the same can be done here on the 15th fret. We can play the G major triad here, the 3rd finger on the 17th fret, the 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 16th fret, and the 1st finger on the 2nd string, 15th fret.